Hi you guys, we are adding mixed numbers in this lesson today. I'm going to show you some examples of adding mixed numbers with common denominators and then what to do if the denominators are different. So I'm going to show a couple examples of both. So here we go. Okay, so when we add mixed numbers, remember a mixed number is a whole number attached to a fraction. Now, this is adding mixed numbers because this one's just a fraction, but this one has a whole number attached to it. So I'm going to show you what you do when you have something like this. The whole numbers are going to go ahead and just come on over because we're adding. I'm not subtracting, which is different, but I'm just adding. I have a 2 whole over here, and I don't have anything over here, so my 2 whole will definitely be brought over. And now I'm adding a fourth plus 2 fourths. Well, luckily the denominators are the same, so I know my 4 is going to be down here. And then I add the numerators. 1 plus 2 is 3. So my answer is 2 3/4. Please make sure that your fraction part is all the way simplified, and it is, so I can leave it as 2 3/4. Let's go ahead and see another example. What if I had 1 and, let's do 1 2/10 plus 2 and 4/10. Okay, so first step is to add the whole numbers. I have a 1 and a 2, so that makes 3. And then I have common denominators, so that's going to come over as my denominator. And then add the top. 4 plus 2 is 6. Okay, please make sure you simplify. You're simplifying the fraction part. The 3 stays. But what about my 6/10? What does that simplify to? 6/10 simplifies to something because they both share a factor of 2. I can divide the top and bottom by 2. If I divide the top and bottom by 2, I will get my simplified fraction. So my 3 stays, but now 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. So my correct simplified answer is 3 3/5. Let's go ahead and do another one. What if I had 2 and 4/8 plus 4/8? Let's see what happens here. Okay, so the only whole numbers I have here is a 2, so I'm just going to bring that over. My denominator is the same, which happens to be an 8. And then I add the numerators. 4 plus 4 is 8. Now, can I leave my fraction like this? No, I cannot. Do you guys notice something different? Look at the fraction part. It has an 8 over an 8. Remember, 8 over 8 means on a number line, I've reached the whole, I've reached the end. So that's another whole. 8 divided by 8 is a whole. This whole 8 out of 8 gets turned into one whole. So I need to combine this and say that 2 plus a whole is 3. So the actual proper answer is 3. If you ever have a fraction like this where the numerator and denominator are the same, that represents a whole. 8 divided by 8 is one whole, so I have 2 plus the whole, which will give me 3 as my answer. So that is just part 1 of adding mixed numbers. What happens when my denominators are different? That's when we need to find the least common denominator or the least common multiple of the denominators and then go ahead and add. So let's say I had 1 and 1/4 plus 1 1/2. Okay? You can go ahead and add the wholes if you'd like to because they're not a part of the fraction part when we start changing them. So 1 whole plus 1 whole is 2 wholes. Okay? And then I'm now focused on my 1/4 and my 1/2. Now notice those denominators are different. I need to get them the same. So write your denominators there, and I need to multiply up until I get the same number. Well, notice that the same number that they share as far as multiples go is 4. 4 is going to be my denominator. Well, this one's good to go. That's a 4, but this is not a 4. How do I change a 2 into a 4? I got to multiply it by 2, which means I have to do the same thing to the top. So I'm going to bring down what I have here. I have a 4th. But this part changed. 2 times 1 is 2, and 2 times 2 is 4. So now I have 2/4. Now I can add across because I have the same denominator. And I'm going to write my answer up here. So 4 is my denominator, and then 1 plus 2 is 3. So my proper answer to the original equation is 2 3/4. So what did we do there? We had to make sure that the denominators were the same. We made them the same by finding the least common multiple, or the least common denominator, which happened to be a 4. My 1/4 was good to go, but I had to change my 1/2, and I did that by multiplying the top and bottom. I rewrote my new fraction, and then I went ahead and added my fractions together because the denominators were now the same, and I got 3/4. Don't forget to connect that to my wholes that I added at the very beginning. My entire answer is 2 wholes and 3/4. All right? So those are your examples for adding mixed fractions, part 1. In my part 2 of adding mixed fractions with an algorithm, I'm going to show you a lot more examples where things get a little bit different. So please check out Adding Mixed Numbers as an Algorithm, part 2.